Welcome back to the gun dungeon, guys. Today we have the FN Reflex out here on the range. It's been some time now, but I did put out a little short featuring this particular handgun, and in that short it was experiencing some issues, some failure to go back into battery, hanging up. Look, it was kind of like the rounds were hanging up on the feed ramp. But since then, just shooting it, I kept the mags loaded for about a week or so, shot it some, and I've not had any issues since that has slowly faded out. Took about, I'm gonna guess here and say around 150 to 200 rounds for it to fully go away. I'm just gonna attribute it to a break-in. Now, some may say new guns shouldn't require a break-in period, but for the longest time that was the standard. Now granted, today's time, it may not be acceptable to you, but if it breaks in, it runs fine after that, I don't have a problem with it once it does break in. I hate having to spend the ammo doing it, but it is what it is. And since then, this gun has been so reliable that it has found its way into my carry rotation. I've been carrying it in this little cheapo Kydex holster here that picked up for nothing because I wasn't sure about how it was gonna feel in to a carry roll or not. But now that I've been carrying it, I like it. I like how it carries. I like how it shoots. I'm probably going to go ahead and buy a good carry holster for it and carry this gun pretty well, probably almost exclusively, because it fills all the boxes. Now, I wish it wasn't in 9mm because I'm bored to death with 9mm, but it is what it is. That's 2025 for you. Everything is 9mm. But this is not a first shots video by no means. I don't even have the box out here with me because honestly, the box is just a cardboard box with a little plastic pop molded insert in it. And it doesn't really come with anything other than the two mags. It comes with a 15 round extended mag, an 11 round flush fit mag, and then it does come with a finger extension floor plate you can swap out. It may have actually came with that on it and I swapped it out for the flush because I prefer flush for what I'm carrying. But anyways, you got the option with the 11 round mag to have extended floor plate for your pinky or not. So I opted for the not, but really that's about all it comes with. Now, I have had another issue with this handgun that isn't really attributed to the handgun, but the tritium front sight did go out of it. It just went blank. It doesn't have any tritium in the rear. It's just a white dot rear and then an orange dot with tritium in the front. I contacted FN, very smooth process. They got back with me, asked if I wanted to send the slide in and them replace it or them just send me the sight. I told them to just send me the sight and I had it within 4 or 5 days. Swapped it out myself, no problems, everything's fine. But honestly, I think I mentioned this in Reloading Rambling, I've been having some issues with a lot of tritium front sights here lately. I think this is the third one I've had to swap out on 2 different handguns. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but I have been having some issues with tritium sights just randomly just going completely black on me. But let's talk about this little thing a little bit. Now, it is pretty aggressive texturing here. It doesn't look like it, but it's almost like sandpaper. And then you got kind of the grenade style texturing on the front and the rear. But this is pretty aggressive and it took some getting used to against my skin, carrying inside the waistband, but it's something I got used to fairly quickly. It's not as smooth as like a P365 or something like that, but it feels good. It feels good in the hand, especially when you're shooting it. No hot spots to speak of, like the Hellcat. I had a pretty bad hot spot somewhere in this area on the Hellcat. Probably could have taken care of it with a file. I just haven't. But this one, no hot spots to speak of. Feels really, really good in the hand. And then throw the 15 round mag in there and you got a full purchase. Now, I'll say this, I'm not a big fan of extended magazines on compact guns. One, I like compact grips, even though I have big hands. And two, that little bit of wiggle you get there where it's not exactly like solid. It kind of throws me off a little bit, honestly, especially just shooting at the range. I notice it. I'd say in the heat of the moment, if it was life or death, I probably wouldn't notice it at all. But just shooting at the range, it's something that I do notice and kind of catches me off guard. Other than that, it's a standard micro compact 9mm. It's very, very common on the market these days. Now this one is not optics ready. They do have an optics ready version. I just opted to not get it, save a couple bucks, because I knew I wasn't going to put a red dot on it anyways. And that's where we're at. Now, one of the big features of this handgun that really sells me on it and why I like it so well is this trigger. And you notice this is solid back here, no backplate. This is a hammer fired gun. This is not a striker fired handgun. And some people say, well, it's partially double action. No, it's not. It is not double action at all. And I'm gonna YouTube up. This is a common field strip, so calm down, YouTube. And this is not going to be any type of modification or disassembly. This is field stripping. Okay. Chill. So here is your hammer in the rear. It is fully cocked. Even with the slide off, I pull the trigger, there it is. Comes all the way forward. Now don't let that go forward and smack the frame. You don't want to do that. When the slide goes back, there it is. It is fully cocked. This is a single action only firearm. Don't care how you want to slice it. Your trigger is not cocking a thing. Your trigger is just releasing the sear of a fully cocked hammer. Now, that may freak some of you out, but, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it on forums and such that don't like that feature, but it is a hinge trigger. See the hinge there? That hinge is what keeps this makes it drop safe. So essentially, it's no more dangerous than a striker fired handgun. It just has a better trigger. And when I say better, I don't mean lighter. It's not a 1911 trigger by any means. It just feels good. Now, let's walk through it. Pull it to the wall here, a little bit of take up. There's virtually no resistance there at all. It's just taking the hinge out. There's our wall. There's the trigger. That is a smooth, crisp break. It has, like a lot of striker fired triggers, you tend to push left with them. A lot of it's because of the over travel and the squishiness of the trigger. It's something I commonly see. It's something I do too if I'm not paying attention. Not an issue with this one. It does not cause that. I haven't had any issues, any adjustments to make shooting this gun. There it is again. Excellent trigger. Let's do the reset. There's your reset. And there's the trigger break again. That's the selling point of this gun. That trigger is why I have a lot of recommendations for it. So I tried it. And that trigger is why this gun is going in the carry rotation. It's reliable now. No problems with that anymore. It shoots all the hollow points I've tried through it. No problems with that. Matter of fact, it really was only hanging up and having issues with one particular type of ammo. And I don't even know where I got it from. It came in a Plano case, like a Plano ammo box. So it didn't have a brand on it. I don't even remember where I got it. I've had it for a long time. And that was the ammo it was hanging up with. It really didn't hang up with any other ammo. So keep that in mind too. Maybe you just didn't like that ammo. But I did try that ammo again later after I'd broke it in, and it didn't have any problems. So it is what it is. And as far as feeling, how it feels great, shoots great, no problems with it all. And like I said, the trigger helps me shoot it better. Not that other guns don't shoot great, because most guns are more accurate than the shooter themselves, but certain guns and certain features lend themselves for shooters to shoot them better. This trigger will be a tool in your toolbox to help you shoot better, promise you. Let's shoot it some. So one thing to note, these little magazines are pretty stout to load up. I do use a Uplula mag loader to load them, make it a little easier, because they're pretty strong. The springs in there is pretty strong. And you notice whenever I put the magazine in, I gotta really give it some, because it's loaded to the hilt and it's strong spring. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure you fully seat the magazine on this thing. And for those of you lefties, sorry fellas, you can swap the mag release to the other side, but all the other controls are not ambi friendly, which I like, because I'm right-handed and I'm selfish. So I like that. Here we go. It shoots very well for a micro compact handgun. I probably, not saying it shoots better than any other of them, I shoot it better. I'll just say that. And a lot of it is this daggone trigger. It's a great trigger. So I'm gonna try this old wobbly big extended mag. It shoots good. It makes me look good. So if it makes me look good, it's definitely gonna make you look good. 80 yards, Gary gone. Gotta try it. 5 rounds, maybe. Not very good at counting. I am from Kentucky. I think I gotta hold high, if I remember correctly. We'll see. Took 5 to find the hold. Hang on. I'll make you watch me load this. We'll stare awkwardly into the camera as I slowly load this magazine with 5 rounds. That was a little better. So final thoughts on the FN Reflex. I really like it. Really dig this handgun. You've heard me raving before about how much I really like the P365 XL, and I still do, don't get me wrong. That gun shoots really well for me as well. But it's a 12+1. It's a little bit longer in the grip. It doesn't conceal as well as this shorter gripped FN Reflex. So considering that I shoot them both pretty equally, but the advantage with the P365 XL is that I have a little bit longer grip. So that gives me a little bit of advantage to shoot it better. Whereas the trigger on this one gives me an advantage to shoot better, and it's easier to conceal. So that's kind of the scales that I'm weighing them on. They're both excellent options. The 365, the standard 365 is excellent as well. I just don't shoot it as well as I do the XL or this gun, but it conceals well and it shoots good for me, just not as good. At this point with the micro 9s, we're splitting hairs, but there is a little bit of an advantage with the trigger on the FN Reflex, and that's just my opinion on it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Until next time, guys, stay tuned.